This is Triggered.
And you will be.
Welcome to Friday Afternoons with Chantal and Ashley on Triggered.
We are not allowed to do this. Nobody wants to hear our fucking shenanigans. But hi, thanks for listening.
Oh my god, I'm so dead.
It's Friday.
Oh, we're loving the Friday of it all.
I'm excited about it. I'm also really excited for the fact that my youngest son has no idea how many holiday festivities I plan on putting him through this weekend.
He's not ready.
No, he's going to hate
He doesn't
every minute
even know
of it.
what's coming.
I know. And he's like cool right now, you know?
He thinks he's coming to just like chill with mom. And you're like, first we're going to wrap some gifts, then we're going to see Santa, then we're going to go to a parade, then we're going to eat the bonbons. Yeah, that's what's happening.
True. I've already planned all the things I'm going to bake. He's going to walk in and be like, get me out of here.
He's like, why did you put gingerbread on the walls? You're like, we're a gingerbread house.
We are a gingerbread house. So, Chantal, I have a story.
I'm so excited.
I don't think
I
you
love
know
it
this
when you
one.
tell me stories.
I have so many.
You don't think I know this one?
No, I don't. I don't think it's that popular. Well, no. Like, to me, it would be popular, but it's not that, like, it's not something a lot of people would have heard of.
I mean, we'll see, because sometimes I fall into these black holes of, like, rando crimes.
Okay.
But there's only one way to find out.
So before we start, I want to ask you a question.
I'm ready.
Do you ever watch Criminal Minds?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you know how, like, they profile their unsub before they catch the person?
Can I tell you that the only reason we have this podcast today is because of profiling and because it actually rocks my entire world?
It's incredible.
Ah.
The fact that they can take a crime and be like, blah, blah, blah is a white male. So, you know,
do you know
amazing.
what? You know what surprises me or what fascinates me is microexpressions. And this has been one of those things I have dove very deep into. Because I'm like, wait, I can tell if people are lying.
A twitch of an eyelash.
By just
it's
incredible.
You're just like, oh, fuck, they're lying. They killed 18 people and buried their bodies under the stairs.
It's true, though. Like, it's really fascinating that the odd little... You're going to hear our drinks tinkling. And...
But it's Friday, so...
Yeah, I mean, like, I would like to excuse this, but I'm not going to.
No, we're into the whiskey today.
I promise we're not alcoholics. This is just, like, how we vibe.
Okay, so, profiling.
Tell me.
Do you ever wonder, like, how that would have started? Like, one day, like, someone was just like, hey, like... that person is suspicious and this is why and XYZ. So it would have taken a long time to build profiles on people. Like, you wouldn't have just 2 or 3 crimes. You'd have to kind of like configure thousands of case files and see like what are the similarities, what is the blueprint, things like that.
For sure.
So I actually chose this story because it took place in the 70s.
Okay.
And it's actually one of the first profiles the FBI did at Quantico.
Fascinating.
So they took this case and used it kind of as an experimental case.
Yeah.
And they actually solved the crime.
I am so invested already.
All right. So I want to remind everyone, if you're easily triggered, this might not be the episode for you because it does involve small children.
Okay.
So just some people are just sensitive to that, and I'm trying to
I know,
be
and I
more
want to respect that.
Same.
I want to respect that.
All right, girl. Picture this. You're in a small town. Everyone knows everyone. You've got this kind of quiet, weird neighbor who's kind of offering to always fix things.
I'm already out.
Yeah, I know. Right? I don't want your help.
Quiet neighbor who's always offering to fix things? I don't think so.
It does seem helpful though in the time. Like Joe Blow down the street is like, hey, your fence is hanging. Let me go get my tool.
To be fair, like, I mean, I am happily together with the handiest of men.
Yes.
When I was single, like, yeah,
I know.
If a neighbor was like, oh, I can help you with that issue you're having, I'd be like,
yes, please.
please?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair.
Right. So I'm going to take you on a wild ride through the twisted story of David Meirhofer.
I don't think I have heard of that.
Okay. So he was a carpenter in Manhattan, Montana. So not Manhattan, but Manhattan, Montana.
United States, can I ask you a real question?
Why?
Why?
Yeah, there are other names. Don't do that to somebody.
I don't know, and like maybe I'm maybe I'm calling out the U.S. and like this is we do this too, but like I don't think there's a Toronto, Manitoba. I don't think so.
There's not.
And there's so many places. Like there's other Salems.
There are
outside
other
of Salem, Massachusetts. Oh God,
it's too much.
Massachusetts.
I hate that word.
I love Massachusetts. Though.
Massachusetts. Nope, still not getting it.
It's fine.
All right.
Anyway.
So
we're in Manhattan, not New York.
Manhattan, Montana. So it's the late 1960s. So it's like barely a blip on the map. So maybe that's why they used it. They're like, we don't have anything. Let's call ourselves Manhattan. Because it would probably be funny. I would do it too. It's like when you name your cat dog or dog cat.
Yeah.
I've seen it. So our story begins with a baby boy born June 8th, 1949. Little David Meirhofer.
Is it Meirhofer?
Meirhofer.
We're going to go with Meirhofer.
Meirhofer. One of 5 kids, probably seemed like any other newborn. But holy crap, did that change fast.
Doesn't it always?
Well, so the Meirhofers moved to Manhattan when David was just a tot. Now you might be thinking, small town, idyllic childhood, right? Wrong. David was the kind of kid in high school you kind of avoided.
Oh.
You know, he's a little gloomy.
Oh, David.
Not winning a popularity contest, so he's an
Eeyore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just, yeah. And everybody remembers those kids. And, like, my heart always went out to them because, like, they just didn't have, like, a big friend group. Or,
right.
You know? And,
right.
Like, you don't need a lot of friends. But
no.
In this case, everyone was picking up something.
Something off David. Okay,
yeah.
Got it.
He was kind of, like, most likely to be a future serial killer than most likely to succeed.
Okay, can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
So, recently, someone that I know was telling me that he knows this guy and he works with this guy, and he was like, honestly, if someone told me that he murdered his entire family, I would be like, oh yeah, that adds up.
Yeah.
That is scary.
It is. So you always I don't know, I feel like intuition is the best thing. So our boy David graduates 67, like many young men at his time. He gets that dreaded draft notice.
Oh.
Plot twist, he decides to join the Marine Corps instead, which is intense.
Oh, David.
He went hard. Yeah. So October 1st, 1968 marks the date that he goes, he enlists, he traded his small town life for a uniform. So from boot camp in San Diego to the jungles of Vietnam, he actually seemed to excel. He even racked up some fancy medals, the National Defense Service Medal, the Vietnam Service Medal, and the Vietnam Campaign Medal. So pretty impressive.
Okay.
So on paper, he's, this military guy that everyone respects. But let's not forget, some of history's most notorious killers are military men.
It's so interesting that you said that because we just did Stupid Williams.
Yeah.
And Tuesday's episode was about Sweet Richard Dean, who was also military.
Pattern? I don't know. Probably not, but
we'll break it
there's
eventually.
There's so many people that serve.
I know.
And you have to think, what better ruse than being a military person who travels all over the world.
Yeah.
You could get away with a lot of things, kind of like truckers. Sorry, Dad. My dad
I love
was a trucker.
truckers.
Yeah.
Truckers are the shit.
But if you were going to be like a serial killer, that'd be the job. Anyways.
All right.
Fast forward to August 1971. He's back on U.S. soil, finishing up his service at Camp Pendleton.
Oh, Pendleton.
Camp Pendleton. Then in 73, he gets an honorable discharge and heads back to good old Manhattan, Montana.
Back to Manhattan.
Don't know what the honorable discharge was. However, I think from what I've read, and there's no like guarantee that I'm correct, so please don't come at me for this. He did have a rumored kind of personality that he would kind of give a lot of young girls attention that wasn't warranted. Does that make sense?
Yeah, young girls like too young, or just like younger.
Well, stay tuned for that. I can't really say because I don't know, but the story will tell you that.
All right.
So things start getting interesting. He sets himself up as a handyman and a carpenter. Kind of a little shop in town where he can help people out, make some money, whatever. He sets up his little shop in Manhattan, but here is where our everyday fear comes into play. How well do you know your neighbors? As we've read so many times in so many cases, you don't.
You really don't.
You really don't. Right. Anyone can be living next door. I live in a condo, so like I have 1,000 neighbors.
Ew.
Living in the same building.
That makes me feel claustrophobic.
I know no one.
I know everyone and no one at the same
It's
time.
true. All right, so I'm going to set the scene. It's June 1973, and the Jagger family is living their best life, okay?
What a sweet last name.
Jagger.
Like Mick.
Like moves like Jagger. Anyways, not mature enough for this. Anywho, so this cute little family, they're on a month-long camping trip. 5
Pardon
kids.
me?
Yeah, like that's the best summer ever. So they're traveling campsite to campsite.
Wow.
Lucky. So they're there with, there's 5 kids. There's 2 parents and grandparents have joined in on the fun.
Oh my.
So they stop at Missouri Headwater State Park. They're tent camping. So campfire, s'mores, singing, that's...
Yay.
I haven't... Okay, so like, I'm like, sounds like a dream. So that is my actual nightmare.
Okay, I'm so glad that you said that because I love camping. A month-long camping trip with 5 children and grandparents.
Good for them.
And like cooking out of a cooler, I would rather not.
I go for the s'mores.
I'll make you s'mores in the condo. Like we don't need
the
to
air
go
fryer.
anywhere.
That's how far is my snores.
Snores, my snores, the delicious snores.
So it's a perfect family vacation. It's like something you would see in a cheesy movie. I love it. So picture this. It's June 25th, and the Jagger clan, mom, dad, 5 kids, grandma, and grandpa are all snuggled up in their tents. So the kids are together, mom and dad, and I believe the baby.
Okay.
And then grandma and grandpa are in another tent. Everything's peachy clean. Oh. Everything is peachy keen until the middle of the night. Little 7-year-old Susie vanishes in thin air.
Stop.
So you
Not
put your
Susie.
babies to bed. Sweet little
No,
7-year-old Susie.
I can't think about it.
She's there with her siblings. So some sicko actually cut the side of the tent wide open and took her.
The fuck?
So my question is, did he like watch the family and like was like, oh, this little girl, or I'm going to cut a hole in the side and grab whatever kid's closest.
Okay, I mean this in the sweetest, most compassionate way possible, but just hear me out for a second. Yeah. I am a light sleeper. No one is cutting a hole in my tent and taking my daughter with me not knowing. Tent. Oh, shit.
So the kiddos are together?
Oh, no.
Yeah. So mom and dad are with the littlest, and then, of course, the older ones are all together. But you would think, like, my kids are safe. They're all together. One tent away. Grandma and grandpa are on the other side. Everyone's fine. And I remember having little campouts in my backyard with my friends.
Our kids camp out regularly in the summer.
Yeah.
Since we got the gazebo, that's like their personal, just constant setup tent.
It's the cutest. So yeah. So at first the family's like, oh, maybe she just went pee or something in the middle of the night.
There's a hole in the side of the tent. Come
so
on.
I wonder if it looked maybe like a rip or something.
Oh, and maybe they
initially
couldn't see
you wouldn't
it
be,
right
you know?
away. Okay.
So before you know it, they're calling the sheriff. They're like, what the fuck? Something's wrong. And they initially called the FBI.
The family called the FBI?
The police.
Oh, okay.
So they call the police, and the police are like, we're calling the FBI, because they're like,
right away.
someone cut her up.
Oh, okay.
Within hours, they've got 1,000 people combing every bush and bramble. They're looking for this little girl. It's absolute madness. Okay, the whiskey's hitting. I'm sorry.
The whiskey's hitting.
It's a good Friday night vibe, though.
Listen, we're feeling it.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. So absolute madness. So here's the kicker, though. They find nothing. Uh-oh. No evidence, no witnesses, no one heard a thing. Oh. So I envision it. He like comes up, he quietly cuts, and if you go slow enough, they're those cheap little tents.
I know, and you know what? When I think about it, how old was Susie? 7?
7.
Oh, listen, my baby at 7.
Oh, I could pick
her up and throw her over my shoulders.
They're not waking up.
She's not getting up.
No.
Oh.
So for weeks, then months, it's not until February of 74 that something happens to break the case wide open.
Okay.
So she's still missing. They have no leads. They have no idea. It's like she literally
just vanished.
Yeah. So a teenage waitress named Sandy Smulligan goes missing from Manhattan, Montana. At first, they think it's unrelated. But then they find her car hidden in a barn at some abandoned ranch.
Uh-oh.
Which is super random.
Yeah. Not good.
So upon looking around, they do find something.
Mm-hmm. What?
Bones.
No.
Fucking bones.
Ash, you can't say, upon looking around, they do find something.
Bones.
And I'm like, what is it? You're like, bones. It's bones.
Scattered everywhere.
Oh, no. Like human bones?
Human bones. They ship the bones off to the Smithsonian.
Okay.
Because apparently that's a thing.
Have you ever watched the show Bones?
No.
Oh, Ashley.
Maybe I should get into it.
Oh, Ashley. So, no, I can't tell you. But anyway,
Watch Bones?
Watch Bones. She's a bones doctor, and she's at the Smithsonian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so they were shipped there.
That is a thing.
And get this. The bones belong to 2 people.
Weird. Okay.
A teenage girl and a little girl under 10.
Aw, Susie.
I know. So now they're thinking, wonderful. We're not dealing with 2 separate crimes, just one fucking lunatic running around Manhattan, Montana.
Oh, jeez.
So they have some physical evidence now. But nothing. Just no leads, just bones. No witnesses, no suspects. A lot of questions. Nothing is, no one's coming forth like, hey, I saw this or I saw that.
And how long has it been since Susie went missing from
June,
this point?
So June, and now we're in February.
June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January.
So
February.
It's a while.
Okay, so it's been 8 months.
Yeah.
But is that bones?
So again, you'll see why.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
Don't spoil
You're like,
it.
could you stop asking questions?
And super sleuth over here. So they questioned everyone, bikers, drifters. They went to a local bordello asking if anyone had seen weird customers, what's going on. If you think of anybody, let us know. But here's the thing. They're starting to realize this has to be someone local. You don't just randomly commit 2 crimes like this, months apart in the same area, unless you know the lay of the land.
That's fair.
Right? But no suspects. Just a bunch of people trying to settle scores by saying, oh yeah, that guy who owes me money, total kidnapper down the road.
Oh, God.
Right? But that's what people do. So meanwhile, the Jagger family is going through hell.
No kidding.
Can you imagine?
No, I won't.
Your kid disappears, and months later, her bones show up.
No.
You have no idea what happened. So they're still sitting in wait to hear from the news from the FBI. They're working behind the scenes tirelessly. Now, keep in mind it's the 70s, and law enforcement is not as well equipped as they are today, obviously. But something very interesting was emerging behind the scenes.
Oh.
It was the beginning of FBI profiling, which is why I asked you the question at the beginning about Criminal Minds.
I caught that.
Okay,
I
good.
caught that.
So, enter our hero, FBI agent Pete Dunbar.
What a great FBI name.
I know.
Pete.
Okay, so before we talk more about Pete and the amazing things he did, and go Pete, who's your favorite person on Criminal Minds?
Okay.
Okay, wait, can I say mine first?
Yes.
I have a huge lady boner for Reed.
Okay, don't get mad at me.
If it's Reed,
I don't know any of their names.
okay, so the like dorky guy.
That's the one.
I have such a lady boner for his brain.
I just love him.
I know.
Because he's not like, God bless everyone else on there, but everyone else on there is like jacked and looks great.
And Reed is just all brain.
And Reed is just like, I can smell him.
I know.
And I'm like, and I love you.
Yeah.
No, he's my
Did you
favorite.
know he's also the voice for Simon and the Chipmunks? Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Shut up.
Anyways, fun facts with Ashley.
Wow.
All right, so enter our hero.
Pete
Dunbar.
Let's go, Pete.
This guy's at Quantico for some routine training where he stumbles into a workshop. It's about to change everything. So it was a workshop. It was run by 2 FBI agents who had this wild idea about analyzing crime scenes and getting into the twisted minds of criminals. So this is new. Like, before it was follow the leads, follow the evidence. Now they're like, what if we took all of this information and created a profile and we hunted the profile instead of the... So it's like a brilliant idea.
Brilliant.
So this is the OG criminal profile. We're talking pre-Criminal Minds. This is, let's do it. Let's go. So Dunbar, bless his heart, is so desperate for leads that he follows these guys back to their basement office. I'm picturing like X-Files, like down into the bottom.
Like into the basement we go.
Yes. And here lays out a case. It's a great case. The case of Susie and Sandy.
Oh, Susie and Sandy.
Right? 2 gals who went missing.
Bones show up.
Bones show up.
Okay.
They see this as the perfect test case for their theory. Now remember, there's no rule book. They're basically making it up as they go. Let's give it a try on this case because they have nothing else. Why not? Okay, so it gets good. So they paint a picture of a perp. White male, probably in his 20s. Why? Because snatching a kid from a crowded campground takes some serious strength and stability, right? You're not just going to be like some old dude.
No.
You know?
Okay, I see. So that's how they start to profile.
They're starting to profile. Okay,
they're like,
he's got to be young.
Not someone frail.
Stealthy, right.
Yeah.
They figure he's got to be a local.
I mean, you just, the lay of the land thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't just waltz into a random campground in the dead of night unless you know the area like the back of your hand.
Fair.
Plus, they bet he knew local law enforcement wasn't really like CSI Manhattan, Montana.
Right. I almost forgot.
Yeah, so there's like probably a sheriff. You know? Sheriff Smith down the road. I don't know.
You can't just make up names.
I do what I want around here.
Sheriff Smith.
But I'm just saying, like, there wasn't like a whole team of police.
Right.
Which is probably why they called the FBI, but anyways. So they pegged this guy as pretty smart. The crimes did show some serious organization skills. But this is where it gets interesting. They figured he was a loner, probably not married, and awkward as hell around women.
Okay.
So
now they're getting a little bit more specific.
They
about
are. And
his
they're
personality.
like, we know who the killer is, right?
Right.
So it's kind of like, holy shit, these guys are on it. I'm impressed. They said he probably works alone. Again, now he's a handyman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a cowboy, a carpenter.
Ooh.
They put that in their profile. I'm so impressed.
No, did they?
Yeah, they did.
Like,
cowboy,
named a carpenter.
Yeah, it's either like somebody like a carpenter or a cowboy because they had a lot of cowboys out there, right? And they would be just doing cowboy, whatever cowboys do. What cowboys do in my mind are not what cowboys do. Mine have their shirts off and like sweating with like a hat and a rope. But anyways.
Oh, God.
It's not the same. So it is kind of terrifying, though. How many people in, say, Montana fit the description of a cowboy or a carpenter?
Everyone.
Everyone.
Literally everybody.
Ma'am, I'm from Montana.
And I'm a carpenter.
I'm a cowboy. Yes, you are.
I feel like we're not getting the accent right. And Montana, we love you. And we're just two Canadian girls and we don't know what we're doing.
I'm getting like a bomb thrown through my window later. I'll be like, I'll show you a cowboy.
I'll show you some Montana.
So there's too many people that fit this description. But here's the kicker. They thought he probably had military experience. Something about the way he pulled off these crimes screamed trained professional. Oh, so now we're narrowing it down. These guys are profiling. Kidding. They're doing it.
They're like carpenter, military experience, local boy. Let's go.
Right? And profiling isn't obviously an exact science. Like, you're educated guessing, but on steroids.
I love that.
I love it too.
I love that.
It gives investigators a place to start, though, you know? Like, let's start here.
Absolutely, because then you're not looking at, you know, like, if some crazy woman comes out and is like, I done it. Well, no, you didn't, honey, because you're not a carpenter, you're not a dude.
And you're not stealthy.
Yeah, like, get out of here, Joanne.
Yeah, after grueling hours of looking at this case, they did hone in a creepy carpenter named David.
Oh, David.
And interestingly enough, David was ex-military. He's a local.
He fits all the things.
He's weird. He's in his 20s. He's a white male. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, like they were on point.
Everything.
With this. Wow.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, no kidding.
So get this. They start looking at David.
Right.
Guess what they find out? He actually dated Sandy, our missing waitress, once.
Okay.
But apparently she thought he was weird as fuck and just kept going. Like, she was like, no, thank you, sir.
Like, thank you, but no thanks.
I don't think so. But here's where it gets crazy.
Okay.
The dude took 2 lie detector tests.
And passed.
You know it. Flying colors.
Oh, David.
The FBI's like, well, shit, maybe we're barking up the wrong tree.
And what year is this again?
76.
Okay, so this was before the time where we now know that lie detectors are shady as fuck.
And narcissists and like, I think it's, what is it, sociopaths or
they
psychopaths?
They can override this.
Is it psychopaths or sociopaths?
That's
if anyone knows,
question.
Can you guys let us know? I know it's one or the other.
Yeah.
Because you can believe your own lie.
And you can override the system. And that's exactly why. Like, I know in some places, it's not admissible in court anymore. Like, whether you pass or fail.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
But they still use it.
They still use it. But you know what from what I've read, they use it more as a scare tactic. Because what ends up happening is, like, someone takes a lie detector test, and let's say, like, I suspect that you are the culprit, like, that you've done it. I put you through the lie detector, which is stressful as fuck.
True.
And then you come back in, and I'm like, is there anything you want to tell me before we go through these results?
I'm
exactly. So I think they're using it more for that than anything else. Yeah.
Because if someone is, thought to be like a serial killer, they're probably a psycho or a sociopath. Just saying. Yeah. So that answered my question. How does someone pass one? So yeah, either way, they're back to square one. This guy passed. Now they have nobody to look at. 1 year to the day of Susie's disappearance, something happens that blows the case wide open.
Okay.
And this is fucked.
Oh, I can't wait.
The Jagger family gets a phone call. And guess who's on the other end?
I actually can't. Is it David?
This sicko calls up.
Stop.
Claiming he still has Susie and he is brainwashing her to think he's her dad.
We found Susie's bones.
Well, he's saying, no, that wasn't her. Because they didn't have DNA, right?
No.
So they just found a girl's bones and they're assuming
it's Susie's.
But now he's saying, yo, I have your daughter and I'm, she doesn't remember and I've told her I'm her father. And it's her poor mom on the other line.
WTF. I can't.
And so he says, to prove that I have her, she has a small defect on her hand. And that was never made public.
And she did?
She did, yeah.
Oh.
Not even the FBI knew about it.
Are you going to break my heart with this?
Yeah, it's sad. So it wasn't a hoax, obviously. This wasn't public knowledge. Only the FBI didn't even know about the hand.
Just the parents.
So his mom is like, oh my God. It was a roller coaster.
Aww.
So he starts taunting Susie's mom, and her name was Marietta, giving her false hope that Susie was still alive. He's like, I'm going to take her to Disneyland, and I'm feeding her well, and I have her here. So he's just playing mind games at this point and just fucking her right up. And
I'm getting angry.
This woman, Marietta, stays on the phone and handles it like a champ. She stayed on that line. She challenged him, asking questions. And by the end of the call, this fucking creep is sobbing like a baby. So according to our profile buddies that just are blowing us out of the water,
right,
it's because he couldn't control her. So he thought he was in control of the situation, and
Marietta was like, I'll raise you one.
Yeah, let's go. She's incredible.
Oh, she sounds amazing.
There's actually a lot about her that I'll brief at the end of our episode, because she is probably one of the strongest, most amazing women I've ever. So apparently he falls apart when he can't dominate strong women. So she's like, get fucked, motherfucker. Let's talk.
He would hate us.
But what he was actually doing was helping the FBI with their profile.
No kidding.
He's just blah, 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 blah,
like blubbering it all out.
Yeah. So they figured they were looking for a guy with some serious mommy issues.
Aww.
Someone needs to be always in control. Okay. But here's the kicker. They still had no suspects. They're getting closer, but our killer is out there, possibly planning another move.
Okay.
So that's scary as fuck. This guy's now taunting, so he's like reliving these moments.
And calling the family is bold.
It's bold. Yeah, so they're still looking at Meirhofer's life.
Okay.
But they're torn. Some are like, this is our guy, we need to keep looking at him, and others are like, he passed the lie detector test. There's no way.
Right.
So tensions are rising. Like, people are arguing, no one is getting along. You know, what do you do when half your colleagues are saying, we have to look somewhere else or we're not going to catch this guy? Half of them are like, that's the fucking guy, so we need to figure out how to like get him. Again, he calls because he can't stop now. He started. He started, and he's like, fuck, she got me, but I'm going to get her. You know, like, I'm going to keep calling. So he calls her again. Now, this time, he claims to have her with him, and he can hear a little child's voice in the background. The family's like, what the fuck? But as Marietta obviously is having terror, like, she's like, oh my God, there's a child in the background. She realizes it's not her daughter.
How?
She knows her daughter's voice. She's like...
That's not her.
Her nerves are shot through the roof, and she's like, okay, but that's not my kid. But so she's like kind of trying to keep him on the line. Like, I don't think you're being honest. Like,
she's
what
amazing.
Do you mean? That's not my kid, you know?
I love her.
Yes. The call came from a motel in Salt Lake City. So he's in Salt Lake City, but he's under constant surveillance.
Okay.
Right. So they're like, it can't be him. Because No. This call just came from Salt Lake City.
Okay.
And he's under constant surveillance. This doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So they're back to square one again, and they're like, fuck, what do we do here?
Yeah.
So it gets so crazy. So Detective Dunbar decides to set up a face-to-face meeting between Marietta and David.
Oh.
Interesting.
Wow.
Like,
they don't do that anymore. I'm going to tell you what.
So that's a high-stakes confrontation.
Seriously.
Yeah. So they want to see if Marietta's motherly instincts can shake him up a little bit. She confronts him accusing him as being the killer. Her emotions are raw, and I guess they could just feel the tension in the air. And David is like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course he is.
But now remember, she's talked to him on the phone. Now she's face to face, and in her mind she's like, that's the guy.
Amazing.
Right?
Amazing.
Although your voice probably does sound different over the phone, and I'm sure, like, there is a difference, you would still know. Like, you just would, I think.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but mother's instinct.
Yeah.
Marietta leaves the meeting, more convinced than ever this is the guy. But they still don't have that solid proof, right?
Right.
So an investigation continues, and it's stumbling along, and profilers are growing more confident in their assessment, but they need just more concrete before they can pull him in.
Okay, fair.
Right? So after several tense encounters and mounting evidence, the FBI decides to take action. They set up a phone lineup to see if Marietta can identify his voice from that harrowing call. And guess what?
Ooh, tell me.
She does. It's like a scene out of a movie. She is like, that is it. Bring him in. That is the man that's been calling me. He's harassing me. Like,
wow, good for her. Yo, she's my favorite.
She is such a badass.
Listen.
I'm so proud. So the police haul him in, and they're like, okay, now she's saying this is him. Let's bring him in and let's see what we can do. So when they bring him in, they decide to search his home. They uncover some incriminating evidence, but not like a smoking gun. Not enough to be like, he's the killer.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because anyone has weird shit in their house. Like, really. You have a garage, you have weird shit.
We have the weirdest shit in our garage.
Yeah.
And, like, God love my man. Like, that has been his garage for long. Well, listen, it is his garage. But there's some shit in there that I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. You have probably all the makings of a serial killer.
We have, like, some weird...
You have really good duct tape that we discovered the other day. Anyways. So then, out of nowhere, he fucking gets away. This asshole.
How?
So he goes in for questioning. They can't hold him because they still don't have that smoking gun. He books it.
He's like, peace, bro.
Peace, good luck. It's like a game of cat and mouse. It's just fucking insane. So then, in a shocking twist, they finally find him. He's tried to take off. A big manhunt ensues.
Oh, wow.
They arrest him because they want to search his house again.
Of course they do.
They're like, you just booked it?
He's creepy AF.
Yeah.
I have never liked him. Bro? Not one time have I liked him.
No. So what do you think they found?
Was it bones?
So he had human remains in his freezer.
I'm disgusted.
This is where the horror sinks
David.
in. And those remains actually were Sandy's, the waitress that turned him down.
Yeah.
So David's lawyer, who was like, he was so convinced that David was innocent. He had his back. He was like preaching for him. He had like people shook all the time. He's like, you guys are insane. He was constantly. So he's standing there. The lawyer goes in and he's like, well, you know, you're not going to find anything. Go ahead. When they find all of the evidence of Sandy in the freezer, he started vomiting all over the front lawn. Like, he was just devastated. Because you believed in your client. Yeah.
Human remains in general, like, yuck.
He goes back. And he's fucking pissed. And he says to him, you're gonna hang for this. There's no question. Those are fucking human remains. Like, do you have something you want to say? You better make a deal. No jury is going to find somebody with human remains in their freezer and be like, well, I don't know. Like, you're fucked. You're going to prison. You're dead.
Absolutely. Human remains?
Yeah.
There's zero reason why you have human remains in your freezer.
Well,
unless you have fucked some shit up.
Exactly. So David breaks down and he says, if you take the death penalty off the table, I will confess to 2 more murders.
This isn't Jeopardy.
Right.
You don't get to be like, I'll take an A for $200. What the?
But there are 2 victims out there that no one knows about. Oof. So what do you do?
What would you do?
I think I would give him life and because I would want those family members. Everybody deserves.
I think so long as he is locked up. And to be honest, the death penalty sometimes seems like an out.
Yeah.
And so long as he's never coming out.
Yeah. Well, that's it, right? So he's going to take life in prison, and he's going to tell you about these 2 other murders he committed. So right away, they're like, deal, let's go. They take him into an overnight interview. It starts at like 2 a.m. And their goal is to get him to describe these deaths. Susie and Sandy, and then the 2 little boys that he also claims to have murdered in 1967 and 1968. So these murders were well before he murdered Susie and Sandy. So they now have a guy confessing to 4 murders. So they go, they're doing this overnight thing, and everyone's tired. And they're like, you know what? Tomorrow we'll come back and we'll ask questions about the case, and we'll get everything written out and get this thing going.
Yeah, okay.
But they lose their chance overnight.
Why?
Intending to continue the questioning, they were horrified to find out that David hung himself that morning.
Oh, stop.
So a lot of questions were unanswered with a bedsheet. Yeah. The only thing that came out of that interview, and I'm going to share some details about what happened to Susie, what happened to Sandy, and what happened to these boys, just for respect out of them. I think their story should be told. So he did admitted to abducting sweet baby Susie, and he took her to an abandoned ranch in the middle of nowhere. He did molest her and strangled her. He butchered her body, and then he burned her and spread her remains over the ranch property, as he had with Sandy. So you had earlier asked how it was already bones.
He
burnt them.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what I was wondering. I'm like, I just don't think that's enough time.
Yeah.
But that makes sense.
So when he spoke of Sandy's murder, he spoke about it in the same cold-hearted way, but he was adamant not to be portrayed as her murderer, because he went to her apartment after she had said, like, I don't want to date you. He abducted her, and he taped her mouth shut, drove her to the secret ranch of horrors that he had also disposed of Susie.
Ew.
But she suffocated with the tape around her mouth on the way there. So she was already deceased by the time they got there. I'm obviously not saying, like, I'm glad she passed. But if she was going to be brutally tortured and murdered there or this way, I almost feel like,
I know.
Like, it's fuck, either way. So his attorney orchestrated a shocking plea deal that revealed the grim admissions of him. Like, I think at that point the attorney was probably like, I just don't want to have this guy as my client. Like, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
So they actually did come forward and talk about the 2 additional murders that he confessed to. The first victim was 13-year-old Bernard Pullman, a young boy whose life was cut tragically short on March 19th, 1967. He was swimming with a friend on a bridge in Three Forks, Bernard, and he was actually shot to death.
While swimming?
While swimming. So
no, I can't. I can't. I hate people.
Yeah, and so here's the thing. His death was not ever portrayed as a murder because they thought it was an accidental shooting, like a stray bullet from a nearby hunter. Right?
That happened to one of my uncle's friends.
Shut up.
No, like he was literally driving in the valley. And the bullet went through his, through the window in his truck and killed him.
And so that's what I mean. If
Okay,
you live
so
in
they
like
were
a
like-
prominently like big,
Yeah. So they were like,
he
no,
accidentally
it was an
got
accident.
shot. Maybe it was hunting season.
Ew.
The second involved a 12-year-old boy. He was a little Boy Scout, Michael E. Rainey, who met a brutal fate during an outdoor practice session on May 7th, which was my mom's birthday, and my dog's birthday.
Weird.
And my son was due on May 7th. But anyways, remember the thing that we had talked about? Dates are so weird.
Listen.
Yeah. Anyways, he was killed, but they didn't really talk about how, like, they kept his death. I think it was very brutal, and there could have been some sexual assault, but he expressed his desire to have a little kid, if you get my drift.
I'm disgusted.
Yeah. You know, these interrogators compiled this whole big thing about the interview. Unfortunately, they didn't have a lot of time. There were more murders that they were pretty sure, just based on the profile, that he did commit, but unfortunately we will never know. He did only ever admit to the 4 crimes.
Okay.
So in the wake of these confessions, the investigators turned to unsolved murders, and there has been a lot of breaks in these unsolved murders, and he is actually like a prime suspect of a lot of them. Anyways, so that is how profiling began.
That's fascinating.
I chose this because we haven't really talked about, like, we do talk about psychological stuff.
I'm fascinated by the psychological
But this
aspect.
was the first time they used profiling.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And it's really neat because actually a few of my cases that are coming up involve a whole lot of profiling. So, like, now you guys have a bit of background
Yay.
of
So
what
there
is
it is.
what.
So sad about the victims, but so glad that we could share their story and get their names out there.
And you know what is really interesting and very honoring is, I mean, those children should have never died.
No.
However, if I am dying by a psycho murderer, I would hope that my death would result result in, now we have profiling.
I did want to mention one last thing before we go. So Susie's mother,
Marietta. I love her.
She's even better than we thought. She actually has forgiven him, and she actually had a chance to forgive him. And I think that's probably why he was so emotional with her. She has spoken out about the forgiveness that she has openly talked about. I'm not that good of a person.
Okay, I was just going to say, I'm not that.
No.
And it always amazes me. And, you know, I really respect these people who can go through I feel rage when my child is like, someone said my face was ugly. And I am rage filled.
Die.
Yeah. So I cannot imagine. And I just have a huge amount of respect for those people.
She, on numerous occasions when having those face-to-face, told him, I forgive you and I will always pray for you.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a good woman and a brave woman. And Susie was lucky to have her on her team. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my story today.
I really did, and I really appreciate you bringing that to our attention.
All right, till next week.
Bye, bitches.
Love yas. Thanks for joining us on Triggered, where we dive deep into the dark, the twisted, and the cosmic mysteries of the universe.
Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, always watch the stars and your back.